So for me, being creative was a big issue, and I thought like I can't be creative. I'm like a CEO founder. I'm that.
Creativity as a skill is discovered through practice and doing this practical exercises.
Yeah,
I loved that creative idea that you had for the workshop, the wine painting.
when we do art, like something creative, we actually think about good stuff, and our mind rests.
Because I'm this kind of person who's so scared to make these mistakes, but with this with little investment, I can afford myself to discover my creativity, to try something new, and have no regrets after.
Hi guys, my name is Kateryna.
And my name is Daria. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Anastasia. She's an artist and an owner of art studio. Thank you so much for coming today, Anastasia.
Thank you for having me here.
I have to ask you, is this your piece?
Yes.
I think it is. Okay.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
I noticed it right away and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And she was like, I made it myself. I didn't believe it.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know we had this conversation, but it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for wearing this for this podcast. So like now we can like.
I was like, I need to wear it at least one day.
Yeah. Anastasia, so the topic for today we want to discuss is kind of, I feel like a lot of people ask you this question. You know, they come to classes and they don't know anything. They're not artistic. They're not artsy. And they'll be like, oh, I cannot do anything, that nothing will come out of this. But pretty sure, like as me and Kat, we went to a lot of your classes and we really enjoyed. And by the end, you still something comes out of it, and you're so happy that it looks pretty. So the question would be, can you learn how to be creative, or you have to be just born with it?
You can learn that, that's for sure. And that's what happened to me. I thought, going through the art school, I was taught by copying what I see. So I never got to, I had tasks where I need to come up with an idea or pattern or something, but it never was, create your own world of imaginary something. There was no creativity whatsoever, as for me. And when I came here, a lot of things, especially in university or even high school where I did art class, they ask about concept. They ask about a special idea, big idea, and I'm like, how to come up with this concept? I was so lost, to be honest, even though not having a lot of professional skills, I would say, not professional, but yeah, good skills.
Yeah.
I was still so confused about this concept, what's the purpose of this painting? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I just copied. I usually used to copy stuff. Mm-hmm. So for me, being creative was a big issue, and I thought I can't be creative. Creativity is just not me. I just know how to do stuff. The most important thing that I learned, it was being creative and come up with this concept, come up with ideas, getting ideas out of lectures, out of other people's paintings, out of nature. Yeah.
Being inspired.
I was listening to a lecture about Da Vinci, as she kept talking about how talented, how skilled he was. He basically were this person, in Instagram, who said, I'm a CEO founder, I'm that, I know, I'm a vlogger, people who keep saying they're a bunch of things. And I'm he's actually this person who knows and can do a bunch of things. And he was truly a magnificent person. I see that connection about him and real world. And I was it will be funny to make painting or something, maybe not painting, where there's Da Vinci Instagram, where he there's description about him briefly, where his main important works, kind of related to word right now, but from there.
Yeah.
And this is one of the examples where I lecture, just listening to lecture about the person helped me to come up with ideas. So not just being inspired, but also coming up with concept of a series of art, for example.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that you can actually be taught that being creative and the idea and the concept, you actually can learn that.
Yeah.
For me, it's very surprising.
I'm in the process of teaching that. So I can't say I can teach it anyone, because it is a little bit hard. You need to be very specific in terms of how you explaining to the person, but like getting people inspired, that's what I love doing. Like what I'm trying like always doing on my classes where we like paint and like do pottery stuff. For me, it was one of the classes that I had in university. We had bunch of words, and we need to just choose one, like spin, for example, and come up with a bunch of like small paintings for small drawings using that word. So it can be like spin like a spiral, or spin like ball, or like bunch of small drawings. And from that, we're gonna go on the next stage where we develop that concept. So basically, you can start with a word and come up with a whole building idea.
So cool.
So yes, this will be like the process of like doing that, and in the process you learn.
So I would say like creativity as a skill is discovered through practice and doing this practical exercises.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's so cool. So for us to be more creative, we have to force ourselves to go to this painting workshops.
Yeah, and
Kind
we're
of,
going.
yeah.
Then
Yeah.
we'll be an artist, so we have to force. And what I feel like is very beautiful about this, as you mentioned about the lecture about Da Vinci, it's that you grab the ideas for yourself from different niches.
I loved that creative idea that you had for the workshop, the wine painting.
Okay.
It's very unconventional, and like I haven't seen it anywhere, and I love the idea because you have like the evening to enjoy with your friends. You draw, you drink your wine, and like I don't think can anything be better than that.
Yeah.
So,
Eat snacks. Like,
That's the evening when this duo was formed.
correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Created. The
So-
magical evening. I'm glad to be
to be a part
a
of
witness.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see that creativity can be, it can be learned and developed, and it's great. But also my question is, for marketing perspective, like Daria mentioned that you're also a business owner. I mean, you're an artist, but you also have to, to stay on top of things that are going on in your studio. So you need to watch like your client base and like to see like if it's growing or not. So
I already see pressure in your face. I'm like, yes, I have to do all of these, but I
Sorry
don't want to.
I don't mean to pressure you.
No, it's just life.
But I mean, I see that you already do a lot of things like to promote your studio. So I love your reels that you do, like the funny ones, or like like from your life, like a life of an artist. I really like those. And also I remember that you've done the Christmas markets.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to drop by, but I saw that you were like preparing the pottery stuff, and like I also I bought candles from your studio.
Yeah.
I really love that, and I'm wondering like, does it help you to promote your studio, like the markets, the reels, like what helps you to grow?
It will be a combination of almost everything. I recently learned that so you can use only one way to promote, and it can be good. You can be mastered, like you can be pro in that. You can do it great, and you can have like most of the clients. But if you connect all the other ways, you might have just like plus like X2 or like X3. As for the market, there's a lot of pressure when it comes, like even though I'm trying to like organize things and like split it in stages, like give some tasks to my sister. She helps me with designs and stuff. A lot of pressure and tasks, and sometimes I just burn out from that. I feel like without market, I probably will have less people involved and like being in the studio, because this is basically the time when you can visit the studio for free.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah.
you wouldn't visit it any other day when if you don't want to go to the workshop, right? So it's a time to just like come, talk to people, network, see what other people do. Like I offered my friends to participate as vendors who has like legit businesses and who like sell their stuff. I wouldn't say that market is a big way to promote like studio or business. And also I participated in the market myself. it still wasn't as much people as it could be. It was around Queen Street, like Drake Hotel area.
Yeah.
So it's quite
lively area.
yeah. But I was expecting more people being in the market. What kind of lesson I learned from that? I still need to promote myself as much as I can through social medias, through those reels, stories, like be out there more, talk about lifestyle stuff. Just get my audience more into what I do, so they come to me and not to the market. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. It makes sense.
What I found cool about the markets that you're hosting in terms of marketing, and that like the UGC content that is created, so people tagging you in their stories or even creating reels and tagging you. And I feel like that's like covers a lot more people as well, so that you are not like pressured or forced to make that much content. People come and do it for free, basically. You.
It's like long-term investment for people to join you, or like even like follow you or and see what you do.
I also like participated in a couple markets like a long time ago with my stuff. And what I've learned, that it's actually a good thing to promote your business. But for me personally, like at first I would expect to make some sales, and I would like feel pressured that I don't sell anything. But then I realized it's not about the sell right now. It's about the client base that you can actually get at this moment.
The investment.
Because people are taking cards. You're right that they would tag you because like, oh, here I'm at the market and blah, blah, blah. And that's actually ended up a good investment in the long run. You're right. It's not like right now, but in the long run, it's great. I think it's also, like you mentioned, when people come to your studio, they can, browse around and see like how it is. For instance, like to go to a workshop, I would be like, considered like, should I go? Like, I don't know how to paint. I don't know. I don't want to be like embarrassed, So I wouldn't feel comfortable maybe to go like the first time. But if I go to the studio first, and then for instance, I have a small talk with you, and you would explain to me like, oh, like it's all right. You just come and we help you out. And I would be like, feel less pressured, and I would be like, okay, yeah, it sounds like fun. So I can come and, and spend my evening like painting or drawing or whatever. And thanks to Daria, she invited me. So right now I actually enjoy the workshops and like the pottery and painting, like anything. So it's really nice, and I don't feel pressured. I mean, I know I'm not that creative person, or like I'm not that talented, but now I don't feel pressured. Okay, no one is. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I will just enjoy this time. My favorite part is to mix colors. I don't know why, but I enjoy it so much. Like, and it amazes me still that, you can mix some colors and you have a different color. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know why. I'm like a baby. I'm like a child.
Blue, and it's blue, and it's light baby blue.
I don't know. I'm like a child.
I know your palette.
No, honestly, for me,
please. Me and my blue. Okay, just leave it. Okay.
For me, sometimes like this, like childhood happiness when I mix colors as well. I'm just like doing this. I'm like, oh my God, it's new color coming out.
Yeah.
And even for me, I did it for like lots of times, but I'm still feel like so happy about that.
That's so cool.
It's like this. Like my mom recently told me, and I kind of knew it anyway. Like I knew it generally. I just didn't really say it to myself, that when we do art, like something creative, we actually think about good stuff and our mind rests, like we recharge. We never think about bad things, like negative things. We always, like even with like, if you ever done like flower planting or something like that, like those kind of like all of this handwork things that just calm yourself, like calm your mind. It's always either creative or like handwork, and you think about good things and almost like never about negative.
It's like a meditation. I agree. Like when you're creating something and trying, get your soul out of your body and put it on like in the physical matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Metaphysics.
Wow.
Another cool thing that you did recently, and I'm pretty sure you're still doing it right now, is the like small workshops when people do pottery, but you don't like, and you just like throw it away. I feel like in the end, it's kind of like a promotional event that you have, right?
Open doors.
Yes, open doors.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
super cool.
Yeah?
Like, that's, I feel like it's so, like so amazing. How did you come up with this idea?
You know the saying, still like an artist? That's what I did. I mean, I knew about it. My friend who is ceramicist, professional ceramicist, she told me about, in my studio where she worked, we did this and like it's how it done. And I'm like, okay, it sounds like my workshops, but my workshops priced higher. But we actually finish the piece and we give this piece to you. They did it as a promo. And in the end, they just leave their piece in the studio and they can choose either to join course or not. Or just try it for the first time. In my case, I offered them to fire and glaze their pieces for extra charge. And some people chose to do that and some people chose just to leave it. So they only came for experience. And it worked out well. But if we go back to promotional, like all this marketing stuff, this is like very good way to promote. I did sell a couple of courses or like workshops that people visited in the future. But for this types of event, it should be done once in 3 months or once in 2, like very rarely. And it should be promoted as like in a month,
like a special,
like special event, because if I on a regular basis I offer workshops for like $130 per person, and if you come with a company it's less, but if we compare those prices, people would like the interest for this open door event will go very down. What had happened to me, honestly. I started I was, maybe like they liked it so much. I had like full sold out for that day, and I thought, okay, let's do it one more time because actually there's interest in that type of event. And then I had only half of the bookings for that day, which is fine, but it gave me a lesson. So
when I do pottery, I do mistakes, and it doesn't turn out well. And especially with the paintings, this is like what pressures me during the masterclass, is just like that I'm scared that it's gonna turn out bad, and I've spent so much money on it. So like, I'm kind of forcing myself not to make mistakes, so I'm gonna like it by the end. But here with this like workshop, like with your open doors, it's like I can make whatever it is because it's not so high in the price. I can play around, do mistakes, and I'll figure it out. Like I'm gonna feel the clay, like I'm gonna see how I'm gonna how to work with it. Spend less money, and next time I can come like for like the full masterclass and like make something, or I can just join a couple of these like open doors, like masterclasses. And just to throw it away and have no regrets. So this is what I found was genius, because I'm this kind of person who's so scared to make these mistakes. But with this, with little investment, I can afford myself to discover my creativity, to try something new, and have no regrets after. And I feel like, as we are talking today about creativity, I feel like it's very cool to have to host such events. So maybe you can come up something with paintings as well.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I never thought about that, to be honest, in terms of mistakes and in terms of low commitment. Yeah, I was mostly thinking about just giving, for people who can't afford a big workshops or just want to gameplay with clay. But I never thought in this way, as you said.
This is my struggle, because I remember how we started. Like, I'm not a creative person, and a lot of the artistic masterclasses, they cost a lot of they cost money.
Yeah.
And I have this pressure that I have to like what I have by the end. I also wanted to ask you about the vendors. Not only the market vendors, but also the ones that are hosting events at your at your studio. Do you have your own marketing strategy towards vendors as well, or it's mostly you're focusing on the like B2C, like to like on the customers who come to your masterclass?
I'm mostly focusing on B2C versus vendors because most of the people want to do it as a collaboration. So they want people to come from my side and from their side. If they interested in a studio rent for their event, yes, there's just like a fixed price for them to come and enjoy. It's I was just talking about that with my boyfriend like today, that it's got harder for me to offer the space for vendors of different type, because I made a studio all for myself, kind of. There's like a small display with ceramics. There's like ceramic area where we have like all the messy stuff, all the materials, and the table. So it's like very creative, and it's hard to give it to the person who can't use it as art studio, kind of. But for artists who wanna like host collaborative workshops,
Like wine art.
wine art. Well, it was a collaborative, so that one it's still harder to promote. For me, it's still a bit harder to promote altogether. But yeah, it's those collaborations. Like I want to do them once in a while. But they're also great way to promote us
Attract
and
different people.
Yeah. Even like yesterday with Ina, who did the wine event, she did her book club event in my studio. Around 30 people came in. They just like stayed there. They had a speaker, so they used the studio. They can use any kind of studio. To be honest, it wasn't specifically like it shouldn't specifically be like our studio, but she know that I have a space, and she just
it looks beautiful.
and very cozy. So yeah, I would still like go to collaborate with, let's say, friends, people who I know and trust. I'm still not on that level to just to give it to any random person, kind of, because I also feel they'll judge the space. Like, oh, it's not supposed to be like that. And I don't know, like I'm just I feel a bit judged anyways. Like I don't know.
No, I understand. You're focusing your like, as we have limited amount of energy, you're focusing yourself like your even like your marketing like powers on something that you have the most. So you mostly host your own workshops, and you're focusing on promoting your own workshops rather than this like one-time events.
I'm still growing in this way. There's still so many things to know.
Do you promote yourself in any other ways that we didn't cover? Maybe like you could tell us how, because as you mentioned, you like have a diversity of ways how you promote.
So we didn't cover like Pinterest, TikTok, which is like everyone is supposed to be using TikToks, but it gets harder for me. So my main one is Instagram. It's really like I know my way around that, and like reels, short videos. I'm trying to do more collaboration this month. I start learning more about marketing and trying to use like nostalgia, some like connections, trying to improve what's in I offer as a studio to people to create those connections
like
between
branding.
like branding and emotional connection as well. My studio is cozy art studios that feels like home, which is our slogan kind of. So I'm trying to come up as much as I can with those artifacts that I can use as like home artifacts, right?
Yeah,
so for people,
so it feels more like home.
Yeah. So that'll be not like promote. It will be a promotion, like way to promote, just a different way. I'm trying to do LinkedIn as well to promote it for the businesses. So also trying to do B2B in the future,
like team buildings.
like team buildings event.
Yeah, that's actually
That's so
great.
cool. Such a like fantastic plan that you have.
Yeah. I hope it's gonna work.
We're so excited for you, and we're gonna be there for the
For
master
everything.
classes. Yes,
You'll be there next week.
Thank you so much for coming in today and for sharing your story on how you manage your studio as an artist and as a business owner. It was very interesting and insightful. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you shortly on
Thank
one
you
of
so
your
much.
workshops.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anastasia, and thank you so much for bringing your piece of work to our podcast, so it feels even more special.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.